Hey, it's Keen Souls here, and today we'll be doing a live cop of the Jordan 5 Anthracite using the ship bot. Today it just serves as a testing purpose of my setup within the bot. I actually have no plans of getting this shoe, so the source card that I have on file with privacy actually has no funds on it. We're just looking for checkout failures. That's just an indicator that the task may have checked out had the funding source had funds on it. Right now I'm generating the cookies before the drop. I usually generate an hour before the drop, so if the drop is at 9, I'll start at 8 o'clock. I do a 3-to-1 as far as cookies to accounts ratio. I have 337 accounts on this instance, so I'm going to generate slightly above 900 cookies for this drop. Now going forward here, you'll see that I was able to successfully generate 954 cookies that you see on the bottom of the bot. Took me roughly 10 minutes. With this last update of TSB, cookie generating has been fairly quick. Now I'm going to add in my proxies for my tasks. I use space proxies in the residential plan. It's performed very well for me for the last couple of drops. I'll leave a link down below for their plans as well. I do a 3-to-1 as well for my proxies to task ratio. So right now I just loaded 900 proxies because I'm going to be doing roughly 300 tasks here. Right now I'm creating my tasks, United States for my region. I'm going to paste the product link. Size I usually leave blank because I do random. All of my profiles, I'll select them. Proxy list, we'll do the space proxies that we just loaded. Accounts, I select all of my accounts minus one that I actually run on my mobile phone. And at the bottom, we're going to check refill Nike info just because I generated some new accounts and I need the bot to fill in the address information for me. As you can see, the tasks were successfully created. So what I'm going to do now is start a few of the tasks. I usually start roughly 10 to 20 just so I can see if those tasks can successfully go to sleep or if there's any errors, or to see if my proxies have been banned. So I usually only start a small amount first just so I can see if I need to swap my proxies out. Usually I use more than one proxy provider. Just for this drop I'm just using space, just because sometimes I've seen in the past one proxy provider could be banned on Nike or could be having issues. You always want to have that plan B just in case. Now, as you can see here, some tasks are initializing. I'm going to be waiting for some of them to go to sleep. Take roughly a minute or two. After I see that happen, then I'm going to go ahead and start the rest of my tasks. So skipping forward here a little bit, I'm going to go ahead now and start all of my tasks. Right now, I currently have 42 sleeping tasks. Some of them right now are stuck on normal release initialization. That's perfectly normal. You just have to let those run for a little bit and eventually they'll go back to sleep. Worst case, if they don't, you just have to restart that task. I'm also pulling up the task manager just so I can keep an eye on the server's performance with its CPU and memory, just to see if the bot might be using up too much resources or not. So what I'm doing here right now is I'm going to go ahead and check how many accounts have been clipped by Nike. So I'm just using the filter option and typing in the word error. And as you can see, these are all of the accounts that have been reset by Nike. Now for me to get an accurate count on this, I'm going to go ahead and hold Control and select all of the accounts from bottom to top. And then at the bottom, you'll see next to selected, it'll give me an accurate reading of how many accounts, which is 33, which is pretty good given the amount of accounts that I have loaded in right now. And some of these are from a last drop as well that were already clipped. I actually get my accounts from a provider called Astro Accounts. They've been very well so far. I rarely get accounts clipped by them. I suggest you guys use them as well. I'll leave a link down in the description so you guys can check them out. Now I'm just going through, checking all of the tasks that aren't sleeping, and I'm just going to go ahead and restart that task. Usually doing this, I get the task to go to sleep. It's kind of hit or miss. I would say 50% of the time, the task ends up going to sleep after a while. Also, something else you can do is if you have another proxy provider loaded into the bot, you can also try and switch out that proxy, and that sometimes will help as well. But just going forward here, I'm just going to go ahead now and just go through all of my tasks, just restart the ones that need to get restarted, and then wait for the drop. So skipping forward here to launch, looks like we're about 2 minutes into the launch. I roughly have 186 entries, which wasn't too bad given the first 2 minutes of the launch. Nike was having a ton of issues as far as entries getting submitted today, just because of the sheer amount of traffic that was going to the site. A lot of people couldn't get a lot of their entries in. So I think the amount of entries I ended up getting in was pretty decent given the issues Nike were having. As you can see, there's some tasks that are trying to submit entry or failure submitting, and those are just entries that couldn't get through because the site is just getting hammered right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait till some of the results come in and see if we catch any W's. So about 5 minutes into the drop here, we're starting to get back some of the results. As you can see, we got a checkout failure on the bottom. Like I said in the beginning of the video, that just means if the funding source had funds on it, we probably would have got a successful checkout. I think I ended up with roughly 257 or 258 entries I got through of 305 sleeping tasks. It's pretty good. It's like an 85 success rate. I was expecting more as far as checkout failures. I just think that some of my accounts may have been filtered out. I was running a 5-to-1 as far as card to account ratio. That might have been the reason. It is recommended, of course, you do 1-to-1, 1-to-3. Anything above 1-to-3 might be pushing it. I've done higher than 1-to-5 and been able to check out, but you just want to be on the safer side of things. You want to make sure that your ratio is good, proxies are good, accounts. You want to make sure your addresses are jigged properly. I'll give you an example. I live in an apartment, so instead of saying apartment, sometimes I'll say suite or door number, and then I'll put 2 characters in front of address 2, or 2 characters in front of address line 1. Just things like that. Also use AYCD to jig my accounts and my profiles. Big time saver. I suggest you look into that if you want to create multiple profiles without having to go through that hard work of doing it yourself. Accounts were very well. You know, shout out the Astro accounts. These accounts did very good. Very few got clipped. Space Proxies always comes through for me. So all in all, good drop. Hopefully on the next drop, you know, we can do better. But if you guys want to see any more videos on TSB, just let me know in the comments. If you want me to do an overview of the bot or any features, just let me know. I also do have other sneaker bots as well. So if you guys want to see that, also let me know. But don't forget to subscribe and also turn on those post notifications so you can look out for videos in the future.